Well, what started out 20 years ago as a small group of buddies meeting once a year to set goals for the future has now become Oola, a national phenomenon with nearly 1 million social media fans. If you see a VW bus covered in stickers driving around Nashville today, these guys are probably in it. Here to tell us what this movement is all about is Oola guru Troy Amdahl and Oola seeker Dave Braun. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
This is such a huge movement, and I have to admit, until I started reading the book, I'd not heard of it. So tell me what Oola is.
It actually comes from the word oola la, because we were trying to find a word that describes how you feel when the key areas of your life, like health and money and career and family, are not only balanced, but they're improving day by day.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we do that, Dave?
You know, it's really taking action towards it, because the world, if you look at the statistics, it's 53% of marriages end in divorce, 55% of people hate their jobs, 37% of Americans are obese, people are struggling with debt. So when you take the world and look at it, it's tough to get through that and without making tough choices. So those tough choices come by looking at your life in these 7 areas: fitness, finance, family, field, which is your career, faith, friends, and fun, and say, where am I, and then where do I want to go, and how am I going to get there, which is the 3 simple steps to the Oola life.
Yeah, and you are never too young or too old to start to have a dream.
No, that's the whole point of the tour. When we roll up in the bus and people see the bus, it starts a conversation. We're usually looking at our phones, not even making eye contact, but when we pull into a gas station, people go, "What's up with this bus?" And we're saying, we just want you to pause and just take a moment, instead of just rushing from point A to point B, and look at your life in these 7 areas and say, what do I want? Not my mom, not my dad, not my neighbor, not society. What is a dream I can connect to? And we ask them to grab a Sharpie and a sticker and declare that positive change in their life. Because as we roll through Tennessee, if 500 people declare positive change, not only do they become better, but they'll naturally inspire the people around them to do the same.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to change the world.
I love that you've got 2 books now. You sold the first one, self-published, out of the back of the van.
Yeah.
But now you got big-time publishers, and you're ready to go with how to find balance in an unbalanced world, both for women and for men. How is it different for men and women, Dave?
You know, it's a lot different. We actually, when we sat down to write the first book, it was just us telling our stories. It's like, okay, let's tell our stories about him having Oola. He taught me Oola in 1997. Him having Oola and maintaining it his whole life. And then he taught me how to get to my Oola life of being successful in marriage and family and kids. In 2008, 9, 10, I went through a divorce, went through bankruptcy, lost everything. And when I reconnected with him, he's fully retired, like living the Oola life, and I'm not living the Oola life. And he said, just start with step 1, like, where are you? And then go to step 2, where do you want to go? And then start getting your life back on track. And I said, when my life gets better, we're going to write a book about it someday. And he's like, well, maybe move out of the hotel and your mom's crappy car, and then we can talk about sharing this with the world. And as my life got better, we wrote the first book and self-published, and then we went into the second and then into the third.
I tell you what, these books are great. I'm halfway through one of them already, and there's so much usable stuff that I think you'll really, really appreciate to grab your dream. You can meet the Oola guys at their book signing this evening at 6 o'clock at the Cool Springs Barnes & Noble. Just look for the big VW van. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much
for being here.